It was actually a conversation with William Rigo, and I'll never forget it. That will never be lost on me, on the value of that. Like, the relationships, the friendships, the hardships, like that's the stuff. Like that's
Chichester.
Oh yeah, baby.
Sydney.
Sydney
Let's go get a coffee in the coffee roasters. This looks sick. You drink coffee, don't you?
Oh, of course. Okay, come on. I'm not like your other guests. The green monkey has landed.
The green monkey has landed.
Oh, there we go.
Not used to 2 coffees because
Big boys.
big boys, Johnny. This is the first time I've done one of these coffee chats where someone's actually wanted a coffee. So Johnny, Sid Scala.
Yes, sir.
This is cool because we've never really been on the road together.
That's true.
So for context,
Well, we've been on the road together, but not like road.
No, because so for a bit of context, we are on a wrestling tour. It's great. Johnny, one of my real close friends, his main name is Sid Scala. Now we worked at WWE for a long time together, but we're often just stuck in one place. We often lived in Canary Wharf for weeks on end.
Yeah. And we're on the bus, but the bus is 10 minutes.
Yeah, but this is like we're at the back end of what a
4 hours.
4 or 5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So I feel like a proper wrestler. No, not wrestler. Just wrestler. But like we've done the road trip. That's cool. Like it feels nice to be doing this. This is lovely. This is lovely. And this is a coffee shop you found for us.
Yes.
You discovered for us.
It has its home roasted, various options on the little menu, which is lovely. What did you go for?
So we're in Chichester and we're at the what's it called?
Trading Post.
Trading Post Coffee Roasters. I'm just going to show this to you guys if you can see it. So there's a whole list of coffees here. We just kind of stumbled in here. Didn't know it was like a big baller place. They roast their own stuff in here. We both went for a green monkey, which is organic coffee beans blended with it to create a rich, flavorful, smoky coffee.
It was the smoky that got me.
With nutty aftertaste.
Aftertaste. I like it says aftertones, but
Okay.
aftertaste is
You went proper. You went Americano. Ebony. I went for the sipping latte. Whoa! Don't come on.
Oh, I should know by now.
First of all, let's talk about vibes.
Okay.
Vibes.
I'll say lovely, but the playlist is kind of wild.
You can probably hear what
Pushing on My Buttons by Pussycat Dolls. It's not what I expected.
It's a Saturday afternoon. Like you're thinking maybe more like jazz or something.
Yeah.
But we got
Pussycat Dolls.
Maybe everyone's getting amped up. Maybe it's a big night in Chichester. Artwork.
Mine looks like a midnight boat trip.
It's a black coffee.
I mean, it's lovely looking.
I've gone for a sipping latte. We know that the artwork on a sipping. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's nice. I quite dig it. So I think vibes. I'm going mid-level vibes.
Yeah, it's good. It's higher than mid.
You reckon? Yeah,
higher than mid.
This is almost bordering bar for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's.
So artwork, we're happy with. Let's go for one sip because everyone knows the rules.
Chin chin.
Talk to me, Sid. How's your green monkey? Your pure green monkey.
It's smoky.
Is it?
Yeah. Like legit.
I like that. I'm gonna go again. You know what, it's a little light for my liking. I like it a bit lighter, but
You ordered a latte.
I did. But like in terms of the coffee, what I do like, that menu, man.
Yeah.
That menu, you come in, you get a choice.
Yeah.
I like that. It's not like you win to blend.
There are more crazy names on there. If you wanted something stronger, like the Mono Loco, that sounds like
There are more
you're in
crazy
for a
names
wild ride.
coming from a wrestler. Right?
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah. Do you remember? I was going to say, speaking of the road, do you remember?
You got to score it.
You
got to score it.
Of course
you got to score it.
Oh my goodness, coffee alone, it's high for me. I'm really enjoying that.
Okay.
But like, what? So we go vibes, artwork, and the taste.
It's a combination.
Yeah.
So you got to take them all into account.
I have to disregard artwork. It's a black coffee.
Yeah,
It looked wonderful.
Okay, yeah.
But vibes, I mean, I'm going like 6-8.
Nice.
Because it's very nice.
Okay.
Like if I was around here, I'm coming back.
I'm probably going to align with you about. I want to 6'9". 6'9".
Yeah, I thought we were going to go the other way, and then.
In fact, it's got downstairs. It's got this little roasted thing. The vibes, although it feels like a bar up here, I dig the vibes because all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Artwork's nice. Like it's a very good sip. If you're in the area, come here. Trading Post Coffee Roaster. But now, let's get to enjoy it, mate.
Yeah. I was just going to say, do you remember the first time we properly got to know each other? Do you remember where we were going? And do you remember? I do.
Okay, tell me. Remind me.
We'd just done Glasgow. and we were the only two, I think, that were jumping on the train nice and early to get home.
shit,
And we did a like 5.5, 6 hour train.
But the first time,
And you gave me that great tip, like to upgrade to the first class train.
Because sometimes on trains it's like 15 quid to upgrade to first, and it's like
it was really cheap. It was like £20.
Was
it
it?
Free food and drink. It was awesome. But anyway, that was the first time we properly actually had like an extended period of time together. Because we'd always talk at the shows, but just 5 minutes or whatever. So it was really cool.
I put a video up the other day, like this wrestling tour in NXT UK. I love the shows. I love the whole shebang, but it was almost after the shows and in between the shows, getting to hang out, get to do stuff, which I loved. And working in boxing and MMA, you're kind of in, you do the night, everyone's so focused, getting ready for their fight that it's not quite the same. You have a few drinks after, it's not the same. Whereas wrestling, the community of everyone, and being on this tour for the last couple of days, people have made a real effort to do that, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that is the make or break of. Like, it's been a long time since I've toured like this. Like, as you said, 2 shows a day and almost every day. This is day 8. We've done 16. So no, it's day 9, but we've done 8 days. We've done 16 shows. The team and the energy around it and the like sort of camaraderie is the make or break of any of these things, because everyone on this tour is getting on so well and like there's such a good group. But like if you don't have that, then this becomes hard work very fast.
Have you missed the touring?
Yeah.
You say it's been a while since you've done this.
Yeah. So, like, my fondest memories of wrestling, period, is doing these tours, being on the wrestling team. And it was one of those, like, classic, you wish you knew you were in the good old days before you leave them moments, because I was just like, wow. It's only after being in WWE and all that stuff that I realized, wow, that was the height of my enjoyment of this. Like, that was the best time, most fun I ever had, So it's really nice. And like,
so, with the WWE stuff or the
touring? Touring before WWE. Yeah, like before, when there wasn't, there wasn't like that same sort of expectation or pressure, and like it was, it wasn't. We were on the journey to getting to the goal, and there's something about that you never realize in life when you're on the climb. You don't realize the climb's the bit that's the best part.
But they do say like it's, and as I've got older, I've tried to think about that. Whereas like, it's the journey to the destination, to the fun bit, not the destination. People
100%.
say, lottery winners often don't appreciate it as much, or people who are born into trust funds, maybe don't appreciate that as much because there's no success that comes with it.
Yeah. It's
just a flash and you're there. Whereas when you've got a goal and you've got a thing and you're scrambling towards it, it's that journey that we're on. And like, I completely agree.
But that's so true of everything that I've experienced, where I've had these immense highs in life. It's like once you really reflect on it, those things were amazing for what they were, but the unseen moments that led to them, like the bonds you've made, like the relationships, the friendships, the hardships, like that's the stuff. Like that's really the stuff where when I think about my life and I zoom out, I go, wow, like that was the peak, that was the peak where you really feel like you're living life to its fullest, is when you have this like lofty fucking ambition and you're just trying to figure it out.
Does it feel, you say that's the peak? And of course, like everyone had great success with WWE, but for me from the outside, in WWE, people may not know this, but you were Sid Scala and you were the general manager and you were fighting Cassius Ohno and stuff, but you did so much backstage. Like, people may not be aware of how much you did. I mean, you went on to be a writer with WWE, and now you're here in the British wrestling scene, and like you're part of the show some night here, but you're like the cog that makes this thing work. And now you're back on, like, I mean, this is different to I think where you were before. This is a big show we're doing, but does it feel good to be back here doing this, having had all that experience?
Yeah, and like, I'm really fortunate for all of the roles that I ended up doing. Like I worked in like 5 different roles in WWE.
Just tell us what again. I got to Sid, but I think people just thought you're Sid Scala, the assistant to the general manager.
Yeah.
And you were so much more.
It was like wrestler before that. Then I was that general manager character. But then it was what they would call the time producer, which is like kind of the timekeeper of the whole of TV taping.
There's a great picture somewhere, I'm sure it's online, of you and Valkyrie sitting there. Because I remember when Valkyrie was injured, she was sitting there learning with you, wasn't she?
Yeah, so they would get people, if they were hurt, to sort of shadow and like learn about that side of the production. I was helping out with the promos, like sort of like getting the backstages organized and stuff, and then I think that backstage work that I was doing alongside the on-screen sort of stuff was what led to the writer opportunity. But the writer opportunity to be a writer and producer on the American NXT, that was where I think I learned the most and like grew the most as far as like how I see wrestling and pro wrestling and storytelling, and that's that. I credit that for the opportunities like what we have in this amazing show, which is, you know, almost 2,000 people every show twice a day, and like you look at the show and how it's all coming together and stuff, and I just have this like different perspective. Like I always say to people, it's like a more three-dimensional perspective of what we do, and I think that's down to like the time being a writer, because it put me in a different perspective, a different seat at the table.
I don't think you'll say this, but I'll say this. But when it comes to wrestling in the UK right now, you are such an integral cog. Like, I know when people are looking at wrestling stuff, they're coming to you. You're one of the go-to people. Of course, Hustle's your show, and it's killing it. Like, how many views on the Aaliyah James and Nina Samuels match?
Shout out Aaliyah James.
Shout out Aaliyah James.
Shout out Nina Samuels. Yeah. That's got, I think it's got 10 million now. It's the most viewed British wrestling match in the history of the internet.
So you're smashing that. Then like shows like the one we're doing, which is touring around, doing like close to 4,000 people a night. You're the person people come to. So like, you talk about what you learned as a writer. You've been in the business for a long time before that. What were the things that stand out to you as learning points?
It's weird. It's like, I think to get to the height of any entertainment, whether it's comedy, music, or wrestling or anything, I think as a performer, people have to get really individual in their mindset. And learning how to produce a show, it was like having to unlearn the individual mindset that you develop as a performer and relearn how to be objective. So like, I really think that even when we were doing TV and you're looking at a script, which sometimes we would feature 30 talent on 1 2-hour episode of NXT, in order to do that and really get a sense of like what's happening, you have to really zoom out and see the whole thing for what it is and understand that it is one thing. Like, even though it has all these individual pieces and matches and stories and what have you, it's one thing. It's like one movie, and that's really hard to do. And I think that's the hard thing going from wrestler to like producer, writer, is that as a wrestler, a lot of the time, you are thinking about your performance and how you're going to deliver it. What's your emotion? What's the outcome? What's your motivation? What's your kind of physicality and all these things? Like, I bet to actually produce, I think you have to like think about it as one big movie. And like, the first match is the opening scene, and the last match is the finale, and it's like it's all together, it's all connected. Just being able to see the links and protect the stories and protect the narratives that you're prioritizing and making them in order to feature something to the best that you can, you have to make sure that everything else is going to not step on its toes, right? Yeah. And that's, I know it sounds like I'm talking in riddles, but...
No, because I mean, on a smaller level, I remember just being a wrestling fan. And then I started working with WWE. I remember the first, I think it was the tournament, and I was there. I love wrestling. But just seeing Hunter in the ring with the talent, putting stuff together, and all these little nuances that I thought just happened.
Yeah.
No, they're being engineered for emotion, for this, for that, all these little things that I just thought would happen by coincidence. No, they're being engineered, and that's more of a match. But that's just the level I got to see. So I'm sure when you're in that writer's room, constructing things, get to see things from that, that's amazing.
But I'm not giving enough credit to the time when I was, like, the period of my life where I was just the time producer, because I got to just hear Shawn Michaels and Matt Bloom.
Because you can hear everything in the cans.
Yeah. I'd hear them go through every tweak that they wanted to make for everything that we were doing. And I would start to almost like develop like it was like a mindset thing. It was like, I want to figure out, can I start guessing what Shawn's going to say before he says it?
Yes,
then I would turn to Lyra Valkyria now. I would turn and I would say, Shawn's going to change it to be on the other side, and he's going to want them to do that way quicker. And she would go, okay. And then like 5 seconds later, Shawn would be like, do that on the other side, and you've got to be way quicker. And she thought it was a rib. She thought that I was radioing Shawn and telling Shawn what to say so that he would say it, and she would think that I was like reading his mind or something. But I just started to learn what they liked and didn't like, and reasons why, and why they were tweaking things, and why they were sort of making those little changes. And I think that's the sort of, again, that objectivity. It's like, if you really zoom out and you look at it without any sort of bias, it becomes quite obvious. Like, it's a Vince thing, right? Controversial to bring up the man's name, maybe. Voldemort energy. You know,
he's the manufacturer.
he's the grandfather of this industry, right? But like one of the things he used to say to people in the writers' room, and like, is put yourselves in the seat of the audience.
Yeah.
Imagine you're there, and imagine you're watching it. Imagine you're sat on the sofa at home and you're watching it on TV. How's this going to feel? And that is the biggest sort of like superpower in this, right? And I remind myself that every day, even on these shows, every day I remind myself to sit and think. I got goosebumps. Imagine that you're watching it as a fan. The reason I get goosebumps is because I'm so passionate about this stuff, and I feel so grateful to be able to put these things together. But that perspective is how, when you hear that fucking pop at the end of the night, when you hear that audience explode at the end of the night, and you feel like you've had a part in like taking them on that journey, it's so rewarding.
In the world, a lot of people have gone through WWE, but in the world, there's very few people who've had that experience. And here in the UK, nada. Like there's a couple.
Yeah,
of you.
a couple of people. Yeah,
there's a couple of you who was sort of
shout out James Michael Curtin, Drake Maverick Spud. How many names do you want?
There we go. Yeah, mate, come on.
He's the granddaddy of being able to go into this part of the world from the UK.
Yeah, but that education you literally can't buy. There are certain things you cannot buy, and when you first got put at that timekeeper's desk, I can imagine as a performer, they might be like, I should be out there. I came here to perform out there.
Yeah.
And then you get put on that desk. What was your initial thought when they said, Sid, put the headphones on?
It was more, for me, actually the being asked to do the general manager character, right? Because I was a wrestler, and I got a contract, and I was like, wow, I've been given a contract by WWE and I'm a wrestler. That's like, that's what the dream. You all want to do, right? That's the goal. But then they were like, now, would you be able to cut loads of promos and wear a suit? And it was like, yeah, because I was confident and comfortable with promos, but like, that was where I went through my identity crisis of like, well, who am I? Like, because I've been on that, like I said, the journey, right? Yeah. The climb, right? That's the bit where every day is like that kickstart of adrenaline. There's no one else to answer to. It's like you either get after it or you don't. Like, and it's all on you. But then I got it, and now they asked me to be the general manager, and it was like, yeah, it was tough. Like, but I realized quickly. It was actually a conversation with William Regal, and I'll never forget it. He said, "I know how you're feeling," and I hadn't said anything to him. But he had also been asked to be a Commissioner Regal in the year 2000. And it was almost the same kind of thing. He got brought in as a wrestler, and he was wrestling. And they're like, we want you to make you Commissioner Regal. Now he's only wrestling once every couple of months or whatever. And he's in the backstages and stuff. And he goes, I know exactly how you're feeling, and it happened to me. And he said, but the reason why you've been asked to do this is because there's a level of faith and a level of trust that they have in you. Do it to the best of your ability. And if you can give this your all and prove that they made the right call, it will lead to more. He's like, just trust it, right? And I didn't know at the time anything that was going to happen.
Regal. Love Regal.
Yeah. And he said that to me, and it was weird because I hadn't said anything to anyone. I hadn't been like, I don't want to do this or anything like that, and I did want to do it. I wasn't ungrateful for it. But he said that, and I went, thank you so much. Like, I needed that perspective. The next year, I was main eventing in the first ever rounds match in WWE history. And we did 2 TV main events, and I was wrestling around like 4,500 people at the Motor Point in Cardiff. And I was like, and that's to this day the biggest thing I've ever done in the industry. And that was after having to go all in and be like, okay, I'm going to do this general manager thing and I'm going to give it everything. And then obviously that led to the writer thing and the producer thing. And he was absolutely right. And like my life now, I'm much happier being in the UK, not being over in Orlando and being with my family. And like, I loved my time with WWE, but like, I'm much happier now in my day-to-day doing what I'm doing. But none of it could be possible without Regal going, just go all in on this and like really commit to it. And like, it will come back around. And like, it did.
That's amazing. Because like, that opportunity gave you skills that are so valuable. A lot of people in this country are fantastic wrestlers. But right now over here, there's no one in the business working. I don't think in the UK who's got your experience.
Yeah, I don't.
And your knowledge,
I don't think so.
Which is
not the same experience. Yeah.
Mate, that's incredible. What a fucking journey.
Yeah. Well, anyway, grateful is the only thing I can say. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it really is. And like, I try to, and it's hard, because life is life, and life will life you sometimes. But it's hard to do all the time. But like, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful
to look back at that time with WWE.
No, I'm grateful now. I'm grateful now for the life the opportunity to have the life that I have. And we've talked about this a lot, and we're very fortunate because you kind of went all in and taken risks and pursued something for yourself. And I've done the same thing, and it's been risks, and it's been like, not always like, doesn't always feel like the smartest choice to bet on yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
But now we're in positions where we get to spend more time with our kids than some of our friends and stuff. And that will never be lost on me, on the value of that. Because I'll tell you what, since all this stuff, the biggest lesson that I've learned, the most valuable commodity is time.
100%. 100%.
And like, I think about that all the time. And when I think about that, I can't help but feel positive and happy because I'm very lucky that I get to spend my time doing things that I like and with my family.
Couldn't agree more. Like, doing things you like as well. Like, having time's great, but then you go and do things you don't like. And we don't always like everything we do, but and we've had these conversations, as you said, that we get time with our family. We get to wake up and do things that we love, that we're excited about. And this is why, like, I haven't done anything really in wrestling for the last 3 years. So to come back and do this, particularly with you and like the crew that's here are amazing. Like, it's relit something in me. I realised, right, like, I've always loved wrestling, always, and I felt the passion growing even more the last 6 months or so. Then to come and do this, I was like, man, this is why I love it. Like, it's the best theatre in the world, and like to have this, also to see your success, to see everything. I don't think you've got your flowers yet. They're coming, but to see people appreciating what you're doing, and that's only going to grow and intensify. And it does feel like the industry here is, I don't know, from the outside, and you're far more in it than me, it feels like the industry here is growing into a bit of a sweet spot again.
I think worldwide wrestling, like, there's things sprouting up all over the world at the moment. Where
the stuff in India looks amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was what came to mind as well. But like all over the world, I think people are in mainstream pop culture right now saying, like, Vanessa Hudgens is like front row at WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? Like people are just like, wrestling's cool, get over it, you know? And I think it's allowing people who maybe grew up with it to like rediscover it, which is really cool. But enough about wrestling, magic. Thanks for this. I must say,
go on.
The Green Monkey at Trading Post Coffee Roasters is fire. It's so good.
You know what? I don't know if this is a chain or what.
I might have to get a takeout.
I would come back here. This is a banging place.
But I am absolutely buzzing off of my mind.
That's good because we've got a show. We've got a show in a couple of hours, so we actually better go because we're not. This is a pit stop. Johnny,
love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Love you too. Love being on this journey with you. Great coffee, great chat. Let's go do some wrestling. And thank you to Leah James for
you got to film the B-roll of us walking in actually.